Hello, everybody. Good evening to all of you. Good evening, and a happy Sunday to you. Welcome to the Chatting with Chichi Show. It's episode 23, and I'm excited as usual. I hope you can see me. I've decided, I'm trying to kind of do the video in a landscape way, so I hope you can see me, and let me know if I'm looking at you directly, because sometimes with these phones, as I was so used to the portrait version, but I'm going to try the landscape version because I've heard that it's quite good. Hey sis Anne, how you doing? How are you? Good. I need to kind of watch that bit there so that my eyes can be kind of looking at you guys. How are you? Happy Sunday to you, sis. Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Sunday again, and welcome to the 23rd episode of the Chatting with Chichi Show. I'm very honored to have you guys on board as usual, and I really do appreciate the support that I get from all of you every week on the Chatting with Chichi Show and beyond the Chatting with Chichi Show. Thanks, Sis Ann. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So, I think it's 8 o'clock. Let's just kind of dive into what we have to say. Hi, Mary. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Happy Sunday to you as well. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Wow, it's Sunday. I am so grateful. Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis Shola. I can see you and roll it. Oh, wow. Okay, good. My little brother is on the show as well today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Amaka, I can see you. Thank you. Thank you so much. How's the family? Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. So it's episode 23 today. And I just want to start first by appreciating everyone that has joined, who's kind of supported me through the week. I set up a new Facebook community group called the Center for Growth Through Communication. I know my pronunciation of growth is a bit funny sometimes, so bear with me. So the Center for Growth Through Communication. Hi, my cousin Sam. How are you doing, Sam? Thank you so much for this morning's show. Very insightful. Thank you so much. So yes, honestly, we kind of launched a group called the Center for Growth Through Communication, and I'm excited. As actually, it's a new initiative. Even though it's more of what I do on a normal basis, it's kind of packaged to kind of consist of everything that I do and take it further to serve you better. That's really what that group is all about. I think I've shared the link on top of the comment box, so you are more than welcome to join us. It's a group on our growth. You cannot, and I tell you this, you cannot go to your next level. You've got to actually grow into your next level. I have a quote that I made up, and it says, you cannot become, if you to become who you want to become, you've got to grow into who you want. Let me say that properly. Let me say that bit properly. You cannot become who you want to be without growing into who you want to be. I'm going to say that one more time. You cannot become who you want to be without growing into who you want to be. So that's really what it's all about. It's about growing into who you want to be by communicating better with yourself and communicating better with others. You've got to communicate better with yourself for you to be able to take actions. And then the world, no man is an island. So you've got to be able to learn how to communicate with people to be able to actually survive in this world that we're living in. So it's a two-way process that leads to your growth, being able to communicate better with yourself and being able to communicate better with others. So that's really what the group is all about. So join us and let's pick this up and grow together, because every one of us are on different levels in our lives. You want to grow better as a better parent? Do you want to grow better as a better employee or as a better employer or a business person or student? However, whatever scenario or platform you're in, you want to grow to the next level. So the Center for Communication Through Growth, the Center for Growth Through Communication is the place to be. So that's kind of that in a nutshell. And thank you again as well, guys, for supporting me throughout the week, and also for everyone that has joined as well. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. As we're talking about communication. We're talking about our growth. That's really what 2017 is all about. I know a lot of us in 2016, we all kept on saying, you know what, 2017 is not going to be the same. We are going to go to next levels. We are going to, become better. We are going to do, we're going to know. Oh, thank you so much for sharing. Yes, guys, please, if you can share the video, that would be great as well. Thank you so much, Sis Anne, for sharing it. Yes. So honestly, if you want 2017 to be different from 2016, then you've got to become different. You've got to become. You can't be the same person you were in 2016 for you to experience the kind of things that you're going to experience in 2017. And really, guys, this growth is not an easy thing, because a lot of times the growth is the process. And a lot of times it's in the process that many people give up. So I'm going to be sharing today four things about, let me go back again. Today, what I want us to share about is, yes, we know about growth, but what can stop growth? It's all good to say, okay, yes, we're going to grow into the next level. Oh, yes, bring it on. Fina, Chichi, let's bring it on. We're going to grow into the next level. But there's certain things that can stop you from growing into that next level. There's certain things. And I think I want us to share these things that can actually stop us from growing into our next level. And the first thing I wanted to talk about, actually, and the main thing I'm going to talk about today for this show, is comparison. When you keep on comparing yourself to others. I'll be honest with you, because of the way social media has gone so massive. I mean, about 15 years ago, we didn't have a lot to do on social media. The internet came out about that period, but we didn't have social media. And so with social media now on everyone's phones, on everyone's laptops, everywhere you go, you have access to social media. There's a very thin line that people can cross by comparing themselves to others. So today we're going to look at 4 reasons why you must not compare yourself to others and the damage that comparisons can do. And for us to be able to grow into 2017, we've got to get rid of things that stunt our growth. That's the key, yeah? And comparison stunts our growth. So much comparison. I shared a quote in the new group. Yesterday, and I'm going to read that quote out to you. And I said, this is what I said. I'm just going to read it out to you. Okay. So what I said is, comparison stunts your growth. Your growth is not about and is not dependent on others, on what others are doing. I'll start that again. Sorry. Comparison stunts your growth. Your growth is not about and is not dependent on what others are doing. Your growth is about you. It's about you advancing. It's about you becoming better today than you were yesterday. It's about you becoming your best you. That's what they say. And I talked about, people, when we say the grass is actually not, the grass is actually not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you actually water it. The grass is greener where you water it. So a lot of times on social media now, you could get tempted looking at what other people are doing. Oh, they seem to be doing so much. Ooh, what am I doing? Oh, you start to panic, really, just because you're seeing what other people are doing. The key in terms of comparison is that rather than compare, use them as a source of inspiration. So people are doing that. Okay, I'm inspired. I'm going to go do mine. But don't use it as a comparison. That's the key. We do not want to, you don't use it and compare yourself, because here are the reasons why you must not compare yourself to others. The way we're having so much access to information on the internet, the way a lot of people are sharing what they've got to do. And yes, it's good. It's good to be visible. If you want to share your message, if you want to share your story, it's very, very important to be visible. You can't share your story if you're not visible. So it's really good that people are being visible out there. But the key thing that you must do as your own person is not to compare yourself with others. So I'm going to share 4 points that I kind of, I noted down. Yes, I got them down here. And I'll tell you the first reason why you must not compare yourself to others. The first reason is that it's actually damaging to you. And I care, to be honest, I care so much about you that I think it's important that you get this into, you kind of get this into your frame, your mind frame, that when you compare yourself to others, you are damaging you. Because what that does is that it makes you start to have self-doubts. You're doubting yourself. And you know what? Self-doubt is a killer. Self-doubt is a killer. honestly speaking. Thanks, Ify. She says, my lovely earrings. Thank you so much, Ify. Thank you for joining us as well. Self-doubt. Oh, Angela, welcome on board. Welcome on board, Angela. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. When you compare yourself to others, the first thing it does is that it's not good for you. It creates self-doubt. And what self-doubt does is that with self-doubt, you can't have faith. And if you can't have faith, what are you believing in? You can't have faith. It makes you lose hope, you lose faith, and you just think, okay, you know what, that there's no point. So that self-doubt is a killer, and that is one thing that comparison does. It makes you start to doubt yourself. Oh, am I doing the right thing? Oh, should I have done this? Oh, should I have done that? You start to doubt yourself. And guess what? When you're doubting yourself, you slow yourself down. You slow yourself right down. So you lose that momentum. You know, you were just on fire. Just in 2016, you were on fire. Oh, let's go. Let's grow into our next level. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then you start comparing yourself. The self-doubt comes in, and then you're like, oh, and then you stop. So that is key. One of the first reasons why we must not compare ourselves to others for this year and beyond is because we do not want it to damage us. It damages you as well. So yeah, self-doubt makes you forget your destination. Oh, Angela, I love that. It makes you forget your destination. I'm going to have to put a clap on there. It makes you forget your destination. You are on you are going somewhere. We are all going somewhere. And we all have different destinations to get to. But if we allow self-doubt to kind of grip us, then it makes us forget about our destination. We're there thinking about what other people are doing and forgetting our own lane, forgetting our own path. So it's very, very important that we do not compare ourselves to others. Yes, let me read what Amaka says. People need to understand that we are individuals, yes, and as individuals, we all have our various strengths and weaknesses. Yes, very, very true, Amaka. I really believe that. Yes, yes. He says it can lift, but mostly destroys. It can lift in a way that you take it as an inspiration instead of comparing yourself. Yes, I get that point as well, Ify. Thank you so much for that. Yes, but it mostly destroys. So the first reason we've talked about that it's damaging for you as a person. The second reason I've got here is that sometimes what you're actually comparing yourself to is actually false. Because it's not everything on social media that is actually true. It's not everything on social media that you should really believe. So sometimes you're comparing yourself to something that is false. You know, people come on social media with different motives. So you just never know. So rather than compare yourself to people and to others, just be yourself. Do what you were called to do. Do your heart. Do what you've got to do. Because sometimes you're comparing yourself to people that are not. You know, that's what you're doing. You're comparing yourself to people that are actually false. That's what actually happens. Okay, so good. So the third point why comparison actually stunts your growth is that it's a goal killer. It's a goal killer. That's the third point. It's a goal killer. Can you imagine? You know, you've got these goals. You've set these goals up, and then all of a sudden because you're comparing yourself with others, you think of your goals and say, oh, there's no point to do this. Oh, I might as well do this because somebody else is doing this. What benefit is that going to have for you? So it is a goal killer. There is no point to compare yourself with others because it's a goal killer. And your goals, you've set your goals. These goals were meant for you. Do you know what I mean? You just go back to the time when you set your goals. Go back to that time. Go back to that momentum when you set your goals. Go back onto that momentum. Sorry, let me close my door. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. No, my family guys just came in. Good. So honestly speaking, your goal, you were in that serious momentum when you set your goals, and all of a sudden, because you're comparing yourself to others, you give up on your goals. Is it worth it? We're getting almost to the end of January. Do not give up on your goals. But in order to do that, we must not compare ourselves with other people because everybody's on their own lanes. So that was what was that? 1, 2, 3, our third reason. And also as well, with comparing yourself to others, it zaps your energy. It zaps your motivation. It's like, can I really do this? Okay, no, but and you get confused. So it's really, really not worth it at all. And then the fourth reason I have is that it is not a winning strategy at all. It's not a winning strategy at all. If you want to win in this game, if you want to win in this life, if you want to win doing what you're supposed to do, oh, we're going to talk about that. I need to come to that because that's very key, Ify. I love that point. Let's hold on to that point. We're going to come to that. It's not a winning strategy at all when you compare yourself to others. It's a losing battle because different people are doing things at different times. Stay in your lane and do what you need to do at your time. I'm going to read Ify's comments because once I see the word parents, my eyes are always kind of open on that. Sometimes parents compare other kids to their kids. Oh, see Mr. A's child, he's doing well. I don't know what is wrong with you. And that is a big killer. It's a massive, massive killer. Do you know what? It's one of the things, even when I was growing up, I used to hate when people compared me to my siblings. I used to hate it. My mom never did it, but I used to have a few uncles that used to say that, and I used to hate it so much. So Ify, you're so right. When parents compare their children with other kids, especially telling your child, oh, you know, see Mr. A's child, he's doing this, and what are you doing? What's wrong with you? It's really, really bad. It's very demoralizing. Your kids, the kids that you tell that kind of stuff to, it actually puts them off. They just say, you know what, I can't be bothered. So you don't want to compare, not only do you don't want to compare yourself to others, you don't want to compare your children to other people's kids as well. It's really, really, really damaging to their mental well-being. It's really damaging to their self-esteem. It's really damaging to them as individuals. So it's really, really important that we look at comparison more in a positive way. You see someone that is doing very well, you admire the person, you're inspired by what the person is doing. The way the person is being committed in their work, the way the person is being consistent in their work. Of course, you look at that and you tap into that. As they say, success leaves clues. You tap into that. They're being very consistent. They're always at it. They're always giving. They're always giving value. That's the same thing you do on your own lane. Give the value. Give the content. You know, be visible. Show confidence. Those kind of things. You tap into them. So we're not saying don't ever look at people that are doing great. No way. I'm looking at people that are doing great. I'm sticking with people that are doing great. But it's important that you don't compare yourself because you are all on different lanes, going to different destinations. What does Angela say here? Everyone gets something and everyone gets something and everyone doesn't get something. It gives kids a real perspective not to compare. Exactly. That gives kids a real perspective not to compare. Because when you start comparing your kids with other people's kids as well, as Angela and Ify have mentioned here, they start to compare themselves. And when they start to compare themselves, self-esteem fuel to the floor. And so it's key because they're learning from what we're talking. They're learning from what we're doing. They're learning from what we're saying. If we keep on comparing, then they are going to be comparing themselves as well. So Angela, that's a very, very good point. Thanks for that point. I love that point as well. So it's important. It's not a winning strategy. You don't win in it. It's a goal killer. It's a goal killer. And I'm not letting anything kill my goals this year for 2017. And you shouldn't allow anything kill your goals as well for 2017. It's so important. Also, as I said, the second point is that you're comparing yourself to something that could even be false. It could even be false. So what's the point? And then the first point that I talked about is damaging to you as a person. And as a person of growth, as a person who wants to become better, you've got to protect yourself as much as possible because for you to grow, you have to become. And for you to become, you've got to talk to yourself. You've got to communicate with yourself. Communicate with yourself to make yourself better. Communicate with yourself to take the actions that you need to be able to grow really to your next level. So it's really key that we look at growth in the way that we look at it and make sure that we are doing everything that we can do to grow into our next level. And if you're going to grow into your next level, then you've got to look at the things that stop your growth and get rid of them in 2017 and beyond. So that's kind of what I have for the Chatting with Chichi show week episode 23. Let's read what what does Amaka say? If you're absolutely right. Okay, she's talking to Ify. Parents need to be aware of that. Yes, we need to be aware of that. I think what we will do probably by next week's chatting with Chichi shows, we'll talk more about that, or maybe through the week actually we'll get some more points on that, because that's very important. It's very important that we not only are we talking about here comparing ourselves to others, but it's about comparing our kids as well. I think that is key. And because a lot of you guys that are watching on the chatting with Chichi show, most of you are parents, so it's quite important that you get that into play as well. But the thing is, a lot of times as parents, we do what we do because we're doing it ourselves. So if you're going to be comparing people to yourself, then a lot of times it's very easy for you to start comparing your kids as well to others. So it's important that we don't do that. Have a meeting with yourself. So yes, exactly. Have a meeting with yourself. Yeah, we need to affirm our children rather than compare. Yes, Sister Anne, definitely. We'd rather affirm them than compare them. So if you want them to be great, then keep on telling them you are great. Keep on giving them strategies to be great. Keep on instilling habits that they can be or they can use to be great. So it's key that we have all these things in place. There's no point to compare them. Comparing them doesn't do them any good. And when you see a child with low self-esteem, guys, it's bad. It's not good, because it leads to other things. It spirals into other things. So we've got to be very, very careful in terms of comparison. Comparison stunts your growth. Comparison also stunts your children's growth as well. So it's key that we hold on to these truths about comparison and get rid of them. We don't need to compare. As I said, rather than compare, get inspired. Get inspired. That is key. Let me take this off from my phone. There you go. That is key. So that's kind of all that we have for today's Chatting with Chichi show. I hope you were able to get something from this, because even me, as I was kind of talking about it, I was actually catching a lot of things from it as well. And it's actually led to a lot of other content that I'm going to actually share this week on my page. So again, the Center for Growth Through Communication, I've got the link up there. Join us and come and journey with us as we grow into our next level. Come and journey with us as we share strategies, as we share tips, as we share things not to do, as we share habits to get rid of. Come and join us as we grow into our next level. It's fun. We're all growing at different levels. It's not about this one is on that level, that one is on. We're all growing at different levels. We've all got a destination to go to, but for us to get to those destinations, we have to grow into those destinations. So really, really, definitely, yes. And I'm just reading Ife's comment as well, talking to Angela. It hinders personal growth. That's exactly where we are. Yep, that's exactly. And that's what the group is all about. It's all about your personal growth through communication. Yes, Mary. It hinders personal growth and self-doubt. Creeps in. Yep. Blocks your path to success. Yep. Stay in your lane and do what you've got to do in your own time. That's the perfect summary to just go with it, Mary. Thank you so much for that. Yes, it does. It hinders your personal growth. Self-doubt. I tell you, self-doubt is not even something you want to mess about with, honestly, because it just ruins a lot of things and it blocks your path to success. And we all are going ahead to succeed in life. So honestly speaking, that is great. Ify, thank you for the prompt. Thank you so much as well. Thank you all of you for joining me today. Have a beautiful week. Make your week count, and God bless you guys. Love you guys lots, and I'm rooting for your rise all the way. Thank you guys. See you later. Bye. Thanks, Sam. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.